There are people who feel like they have to go out every weekend. They have to meet someone. They have to talk. They have to have plans. But there are also people who feel tired just thinking about a crowded gathering. It is not that they hate people. It is not that they are arrogant. And it is not that there is something wrong with their personality. They simply feel that being alone is easier to breathe in, quieter, more real. And if you have ever felt that way too, you have probably silently asked yourself this question: am I living the wrong way? Society often tells us that we have to be sociable, have lots of friends, be energetic, and always show up. It says it so often that people who like a little more silence, a few fewer people, and a little more personal space are easily labeled as closed off, cold, hard to approach, or even lonely. But psychology sees this very differently. And the first thing to understand is this: being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Loneliness is when you crave connection but do not have it. You feel left behind. No one understands you. No one truly reaches the part of you that is deepest inside. Chosen solitude is different. It is when you intentionally step away from the noise and return to yourself. There is no pain in it, no sense of loss. You simply feel lighter when you no longer have to force yourself to fit into something that does not suit you. Some people feel lonely in the middle of a crowd. Some people have only a few relationships and still feel completely fulfilled. The difference lies in whether you feel connected, not in how many people you know. This is where many people get it wrong. They look at someone with few friends and assume that person is lacking something. But the number of friends says nothing about the depth of a person's emotional life. Someone can have hundreds of phone numbers, thousands of followers, and endless social interactions, yet still not know who to turn to when something truly matters. On the other hand, someone else may have only one or two close people, but one phone call is enough for them to feel supported. What people need is not to be known by many. What people need is to be understood by someone. That is why people with few friends are not necessarily bad at connecting. They are simply more selective. They do not want to say too many meaningless things. They do not want to keep showing up in gatherings that drain their energy. They are no longer interested in relationships that only exist to fill empty space, to avoid being alone, or to look socially integrated. They want something real, something deep, something meaningful. And because that standard is higher, naturally fewer people remain. One clear trait of people like this is that they often have a high level of self-awareness. They understand what kind of energy suits them. They know that after a long day, what they need is quiet, not more stimulation. They also know that not every conversation deserves their mental energy. People like this are usually less likely to be swept up by the crowd. They think carefully before opening up. They observe closely before calling someone a friend. And it may sound cold, but in truth, it is a form of honesty with themselves. Along with that comes emotional independence. This is very important. Many people cannot tolerate being alone, so they always need someone around to soothe the emptiness inside them. But people who have few friends and still live well are often different. They know how to stay with their own emotions. They know how to feel sad without rushing to escape it. They know how to feel empty without immediately filling that space with noise, a phone, or a temporary relationship. They do not hand over their inner stability for someone else to hold. And that is a very powerful ability. That is why silence is not as frightening to them as many people think. Some people become restless after sitting still for only a few minutes. They need music. They need to scroll on their phone. They need to text someone. But there are also people who can sit alone with their thoughts for a long time without panicking. They do not need a crowd to confirm that they are okay. They do not need constant attention to feel valuable. They have an inner world deep enough to retreat into when the outside world becomes too noisy. If you have made it this far and see yourself in these lines, comment the number 8. I would really love to know how many people have been misunderstood simply because they do not like living in a crowd. One interesting thing is that people who have few friends and are okay with it often build higher quality relationships. That is because when they connect, they do not connect from a place of lack. They do not cling to others out of fear of being alone. They do not try to keep a relationship just because they do not want an empty weekend schedule. They choose to be with someone because they truly appreciate them, truly resonate with them, and truly feel safe with them. And because of that, even though the number is small, the sincerity is often much greater. Psychology also shows that not everyone with a small social circle is suffering. Some people communicate less, meet others less, and have fewer social relationships, yet still have a good level of life satisfaction. That is because each person's social needs are different. Some people need to talk every day to feel alive. Others feel satisfied with one deep conversation a week. Some people need a large friend group to recharge. Others can only recover when they are alone. There is no single formula that fits everyone. That is why forcing yourself to live according to a social mold can be so exhausting. If your nature is deeply introverted, selective, and inclined toward fewer but more meaningful connections, yet you keep trying to turn yourself into someone who is always ready to socialize, always showing up, always joining every fun moment, you will gradually feel drained. Worse, you may begin to think that something is wrong with you simply because you are not like most people, when the truth is not that you are wrong. The truth is that you are living out of sync with your own rhythm. Beyond emotions, people with few friends often have another advantage. They have more space for deep thinking and creativity. When you are not constantly spending energy reading social signals, keeping up conversations, reacting to crowds, or trying to balance too many relationships at once, your mind has more room to reflect. Many good ideas, much inner growth, and many turning points in awareness come from that kind of quiet space. It is no coincidence that many highly creative people need solitude. But to be fair, having few friends is not always a good thing if what lies beneath it is self-isolation, emotional wounds, fear of rejection, or the feeling that you do not belong anywhere. If you are alone and feel peaceful, that may be a healthy choice. But if you are alone and feel yourself gradually disconnecting from the world, with no one left to share with, and no sense of connection to anyone at all, then that is something worth looking at again. Because the issue is not the number. The issue is your inner experience. The most important question is not how many friends do you have. A better question is, are you truly connected? Is there anyone who makes you feel understood? Can you be yourself around them? Does your current social life nourish you, or is it slowly draining you? Many people are physically close but emotionally distant. Many people appear in each other's lives often yet never truly reach one another. Real connection has never been about counting heads. People who live well with only a few friends often have something very valuable, a clear inner compass. They know who they are, what they need, and what does not suit them. They are not overly dependent on what other people think in order to feel worthy. They do not need constant attention to believe they matter. They may live more slowly, more quietly, more privately, but that does not mean their lives are empty. In many cases, because they are not too scattered outwardly, their inner life becomes much richer. So if you are someone who has only a few close relationships, does not like socializing too widely, needs a lot of time alone to recover and think, then that may not be a flaw at all. It may simply be your natural psychological structure. Maybe you do not need too many people. You just need the right people. You do not need too many fun outings. You just need moments that are real. You do not need to be present in crowded places all the time. You just need a quiet enough space to be yourself. If you are still watching at this point, comment the number 9. So I know whether you are the kind of person who prefers less but deeper connection, or whether you are gradually learning to accept that part of yourself. In the end, the most important thing is not to judge yourself simply because you do not live like the majority. Some people bloom in the middle of a crowd. Some people bloom in stillness. Neither is wrong. What you need is not to become a louder version of yourself, just to be accepted. What you need is to understand yourself clearly, respect your own rhythm, and build a social life that truly fits who you are. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video touched something real in you, please like and subscribe so I can keep making more content that is this deep and this honest.